Welcome to Course 2, Lesson 17. We're going to learn how to measure angles with a protractor today. We're going to identify acute, obtuse, right, and straight angles, which you should all be familiar with already. We're going to measure an angle in degrees, and we're going to use a protractor to measure degrees and draw angles of specified degrees. There's no vocabulary outside of just an acute angle, a obtuse angle, a straight, and a 90-degree angle or a right angle, and I think we've covered those in prior lessons. If you have any questions, ask me about them. We do have just the term degrees, which is just angles are commonly measured in degrees. For example, 180 degrees. And then a protractor, if you don't know what that is, it's used to measure angles. It's a semicircle. It's a ruler that's got a look kind of like a half of a circle with a ruler on it. You'll recognize it when you see it. Angles are commonly measured in units called degrees. The abbreviation for degrees is that small circle that we write right above it, to the right of the number. One full rotation or a full circle measures 360 degrees. 360 degrees. A half circle would be 1/2 of 360, or 180 degrees. Sometimes we call a half circle a semicircle. 1/4 of a full rotation is a right angle. A right angle measures 1/4 of 360 degrees, which is 90 degrees. So a right angle is 90-degree angle. It is exactly from here to here, it is 90 degrees. So knowing that, how many degrees would that be right there? That'd be half of 9. That would be a 45-degree angle. You should be able to know that just because it goes right down the middle of 90 degree. What is the measure of an acute angle? The measure of an acute angle is any measure less than 90 degrees is an acute angle. So this is an acute angle. What is the measure of an obtuse angle? An obtuse angle is any measurement greater than 90 degrees. So this would be maybe 140 degrees. This might be 50 degrees. So this is acute, this is obtuse. I think we know those. And what kind of angle measures exactly 180? What do we call that angle? Well, 180 would look just like this. So that would be a straight angle. And then what kind of angle measures 90 degrees exactly? It's right here. What do we call it? That's a right angle. So an acute angle, again, is greater than 0 but less than 90. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. And a straight angle is exactly 180 degrees. The measure of three angles shown are as follows. A, O, or origin, B, measures 30 degrees. You see the 30 right there? I kind of missed it. That's a 30-degree angle. Protractor goes, as you notice here, there's a 0 over here, and there's a 0 over here also, right here. There's a 0 here, right here. Depending on which way you're wanting to measure, you could go either direction. Whether you're doing an obtuse angle or you're doing an acute angle. If AOC, that is, that is an obtuse angle. So AOC is an obtuse angle, so we're going to use this 110 right there. If we were measuring from this side over here, from some point, say this is SOC, then it'd be acute and it would be 70 degrees. But because we're coming from over here, it is AOC is 110. Then AOD is 150. Find the measure of each of these angles. What is the measure of AOB? Write that down, please. What is the measure of AOD? And what is the measure of EOD? Let's start with A. AOB, is going to be right in the middle of 50 and 40. So that's going to be 45 degrees. So A, you should have come up with 45 degrees. For B, which is AOD, that is an obtuse angle, and it comes all the way over to here. So it is 140 degrees. And then EOD, that is an acute angle from this left side. So it is the top number, 40 degree angle. Use your protractor and draw for me a 60 degree angle. Now, if you're sitting there saying, I don't have a protractor, how can I possibly do that? Well, remember what I taught you earlier. If you have what's a 45 degree angle or a 90 degree angle? A 90 degree angle looks like this, right? That's a 90 degree angle. So 45 degrees would go right down the middle of it. And then what's half of 45? Well, could we say that it's about right there? Could we just estimate it's about right there? Would that be a pretty good estimate? That would be pretty close. So you can estimate a 60 degree angle. If you were to take and go right down the middle again, that would be 68 degrees approximately. So a little bit less than that would give you a 60 degree angle. On a protractor, it'd look like this. You'd pull out your protractor, you'd make your origin dot, you'd make another dot, you'd make a straight line, you'd line that up with your protractor, and then you'd look for where 60 is, and you'd make another dot. Once you make that dot, you take a protractor, use it as a straight ruler, and you would draw your new ray there, and this would be a 60 degree angle. So we were pretty close, weren't we, if you look at the two of those? And we estimated the first one. I hope you're able to do that also. So here's a practice set. I want you to tell me what measure is DOB. Write that down on a piece of paper. What is measure COE? And also find the measure of EOB. See if you can do that. And then start the video up again. AOD is 90 degrees. It's a 90 degree angle. COE, this becomes a little bit trickier, right? Here's COE. So we're going to have to do a little subtraction here. If we use 50 right here, which we can, and we come over here on the bottom and it comes to 115. See that 150 in between 100 and 120 is 115. And then we subtract those. So 65. To check that, I go 65 plus my 50. There's 5, 115. So that's right. So 65 degree angle is COE is 65. And then EOB. So you're going to have 115 again. And you're going to have 20. So when you subtract those, it should be 95 degrees from here to here. Let's make sure that's right though. 95 plus 20 is 115. That's right. So C is 95. I hope you're able to see how to do that. It's just a matter of subtracting the numbers. You could have used the bottom set of numbers if you wanted. You didn't have to use the top set. So when you did COE, we could have used 65 up here and 130 here, and did 130 minus 65, add a 5, and still get 65 degrees. So it works exactly the same whether you go this way or you're going this way. Your written practice, your tickets in the door are 6A, B, C, 9A, B, and C, and 10. Please do these. Send them to me online. We'll talk to you tomorrow in class and work on the entire assignment together. so that we can all benefit from each other. If you have any questions, be sure to write them down so you don't forget them, so you can ask them so the whole class could benefit from it. Thank you so much.